dragons and the magic and the universe-spanning stakes, the dialogue can be surprisingly witty, and the narrative always stays grounded in the human experience, or, well, the relatable experience, even for the non-human.
Right, it keeps the personal stakes clear.
Exactly. He never loses sight of that. So it fosters this genuine sense of adventure and intrigue. You're drawn in. But he doesn't...
Welcome to Witter, Who Has Time to Read, the podcast that brings deep dives for busy minds. You're listening to our Indie Ink Spotlight series, where we lift up bold voices and unsung stories from the world of independent authors. Join our AI hosts, Jane and Dane, as they explore featured works that deserve the mic. From hidden gems to raw revelations, these are the stories that move beneath the mainstream. Who has time to read? You do, with Witter.
Welcome, Busy Minds, to Indie Ink Spotlight, our Saturday series here on Witter. This is where we celebrate the incredible world crafted by independent authors from our community. Today we're diving headfirst into a book that's really captured our imagination, The Dragon Constellation by James Voorhees. And let me tell you, this isn't just a story. It feels more like a profound journey. It really makes you ask what you're willing to lose, for belonging. And it digs into those huge choices we face when destiny seems to knock on the door.
It really is a captivating read. And James Voorhees himself, he's such a fascinating voice. What's really interesting about his path to writing is where it started. It actually began during these sleepless nights when he was working as a physical therapist. This was in a Miami hospital right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. He said writing became this quiet, almost necessary outlet for just random thoughts, observations. And somehow those thoughts grew into this sprawling epic fantasy. That background, being so close to real world suffering and resilience, I think it gives the Dragon Constellation this raw, almost visceral feel. It really gets what it means to pit love against darkness in these desperate high-stakes ways.
That's fascinating. And you really can feel that, can't you? That pressure, the need for an outlet, it sort of hums beneath the surface of the story. It's fantasy, yes, but it has this very human rhythm. And it's also interesting, he grew up in Secaucus, New Jersey, right? And apparently spent his life immersed in music, fashion, travel, art. I wonder how much those influences subtly shape the world building, the characters. You can almost sense this layered artistry.
I think you're right. There's a richness there that feels drawn from diverse experiences.
And good news for those who get hooked like us. Mm-hmm. The Dragon Constellation is actually just the first book. It's the start of the Ambassador Chronicles trilogy.
Oh, right. So there's more to come.
Exactly. Definitely a series to keep an eye on as his creative journey unfolds. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's dive into the book itself without giving away any spoilers because, honestly, you need to experience the twist yourself. What's really at the heart of the Dragon Constellation? What defines it?
Well, at its core, it's definitely an epic fantasy adventure, no doubt about that. But it's layered with these really rich, kind of dark fantasy elements, too. We're talking vampires, witches, werewolves, dragons, obviously, and a whole load of other magical creatures. And they're not just window dressing, they're really central. But I think what elevates it underneath all that magic and adventure is this deeply human quest. It grapples with these big themes, destiny versus free will, the search for identity, sacrifice, and that fundamental need we all have for belonging, for purpose. It also explores good and evil, but maybe more importantly, the power of connection, how that can change things.
Wow, blending epic fantasy with such grounded human stuff. That sounds like a challenge. How does Voorhees pull it off? Make it feel, cohesive? What's the world actually like?
He does it remarkably well, actually. The world he builds is just huge and so imaginative. You're traveling through ancient kingdoms like Mortua, which is surprisingly technologically advanced.
Oh, really? Tech in a fancy kingdom.
Yeah, it blends these futuristic gadgets and structures into its intersetting. It's a really unique mix, sets it apart. Then you've got the sophisticated city of witches, where magic is practiced but also policed with these really strict, complex laws. And the monastery of the Order of Na, very mysterious. They're monks, but they wield serious political and financial power. They've even outlawed magic in some kingdoms, which creates this fascinating tension.
So magic isn't universally accepted then?
Not at all. And then it goes beyond that into hidden dimensions. There's this ethereal cloud city called Gokyuzu and a pretty treacherous mirror realm. It's this vast, interconnected universe that feels properly lived in.
Okay, so within these amazing realms, We meet the characters.
Yeah.
You mentioned a diverse cast drives the story. Who are the key players we should know about?
Right. At the very heart of it, you have Monk, whose name is Phineas, and this ancient vampire, Thaddeus. They're bound by this shared past that really shapes their present quest. Phineas, the monk, he's part of the Order of Na. He's incredibly resilient, very protective, has this significant scar, and a unique, almost mystical connection to something called the Dragon Constellation. Seems like he's central to some big prophecy.
Dragon Constellation. Okay, the title connection.
Exactly. And Thaddeus the vampire, he's ancient, immortal, with a really complex backstory. He was apparently sent for destruction originally, but something changed his path. And he has this deep, unspoken connection to Monk. It's crucial.
You know, not alone, right? There's a whole group.
Oh, yeah. An amazing ensemble comes together. You got AZ. He starts off seeming a bit lost, maybe aimless, but then discovers he has this hidden, powerful gift. He's a tracker for these rare, potent Sez stones.
Sea stones, what are those?
They're described as pulsing with cosmic energy formed from fallen stars, and AZ's journey forces him to confront some uncomfortable family truths and find his own courage.
Interesting. Who else?
Then there's the princess. She's from Mortua, very strong, analytical. Her journey involves discovering hidden powers and a destiny tied to her kingdom.
Right, the high-tech kingdom.
Yep. And you absolutely cannot forget Tinker.
Tinker, I like that name.
He's this brilliant inventor, always coming up with ingenious gadgets, fiercely loyal, especially to Monk. His inventions often provide these unexpected, sometimes elegant solutions when things look really bad.
Okay, so Monk, vampire, AZ, the princess, Tinker. Quite a mix already.
And there's more. There's the sorcerer, powerful, complex magic user. His past is deeply tangled up with other characters and big events. He's complicated. An ally, but also a source of mystery.
Adds intrigue.
Definitely. Then there's the seer. Gifted, obviously, can foresee events. But his visions are often clouded, sometimes by immortals, sometimes by his own pain. It adds this layer of tragedy to his gift, you know?
Yeah, foresight isn't always a blessing.
Exactly. And rounding out the core group is Cadet.
Cadet.
He's a leprechaun. Mischievous, yes, but incredibly capable.
A leprechaun. Okay, didn't expect that.
Right, but he's a genuine asset. Expert at navigating magical networks, tracking powerful artifacts, brings a totally unique skill set.
Wow. Okay, that is a diverse group. Monk, vampire, tracker, princess, inventor, sorcerer, seer, and a leprechaun. So the big question is, what on earth could bring this specific group together? What's the threat? What drives the plot?
Yeah, exactly. What forces such an unlikely alliance? It's the looming threat of the jeweled dragon.
Yeah.
This is described as a truly destructive, terrifying entity, and it's been sent specifically to punish an immortal for altering their path.
Let me guess. Thaddeus, the vampire.
You got it, Thaddeus. Yeah. So to fight this catastrophic threat, to basically protect all of time and space, a desperate quest begins. This group, they become the ambassadors. They have to gather 8 of those powerful Sez stones you asked about.
The star fragments.
Right, and they also need to find the legendary Sword of Sansit, an ancient artifact, immense power. So the story really centers on this race against time, against cosmic destruction, and how this incredibly unlikely group forges bonds to face it.
It sounds like this intricate dance, then, between huge epic fantasy stakes and these very personal character journeys. How does Voorhees keep that balance? Does one overwhelm the other? What's the writing actually like? The voice.
That's one of the most impressive things, I think. Voorhees maintains this really thoughtful, emotionally intelligent voice throughout. Even with the dragons and the magic and the universe-spanning stakes, the dialogue can be surprisingly witty, and the narrative always stays grounded in the human experience, or, well, the relatable experience, even for the non-humans.
Right, it keeps the personal stakes clear.
Exactly. He never loses sight of that. So it fosters this genuine sense of adventure and intrigue. You're drawn in. But he doesn't give away the twists easily. You're kind of always on the edge of your seat, feeling with the characters, never quite sure what's coming next.
Okay, let's talk about a standout moment. Because often it's not the biggest explosion or plot twist, right? It's sometimes that quiet character moment that just sticks with you, anchors the whole thing. For me, in the Dragon Constellation, it was that exchange between Monk and vampire Phineas and Thaddeus. When they talk about their shared history and vampire's past, his purpose. And Monk, in this incredible moment of just profound understanding, he reframes vampire's actions. He says, "You ended my life. You did not allow my suffering."
Ah, yes, that line.
It just lands with such weight. That act of compassion, of redefining the past.
Yeah.
It felt like a turning point for Vampire's whole destiny. What did you think of that moment?
Oh, absolutely. Why does that moment hit so hard among all the action and magic? I think it's because it just perfectly encapsulates the book's core questions, free will, redemption, the power of connection, the love. Really, it doesn't just challenge the idea of like inherent nature or some fixed destiny. It radically redefines what we might see as evil.
Yeah, it's not just about good versus evil anymore.
Right. It suggests that even the most destructive acts, if you can reframe them through compassion, through understanding, maybe they can lay the groundwork for a totally new heroic purpose. It shifts the whole narrative away from, say, inherited sin or inescapable fate towards chosen redemption, which feels like a really powerful message, actually, especially now, thinking about past wrongs and how we move forward.
And that's exactly why it stays with you long after you finish reading. It's not just establishing the emotional stakes between Monk and Thaddeus, showing how deep their bond goes. It offers this universal truth, almost. It's an aha moment.
For the characters and the reader.
Exactly. It shows how understanding, how acceptance can literally reshape the past in our minds. How it can open up a path to heroism, to purpose, even from the darkest places. It's incredibly moving, thought-provoking. So, okay, zooming out. What's the takeaway vibe? What's that feeling that lingers after you put the Dragon Constellation down? For me, there's a sense of these vast magical worlds, definitely. But deeper than that, it's the quiet, enduring power of connection. That's what resonates.
Yeah, I agree. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, the story really shows how destiny, maybe it can be challenged. It can be reshaped by the choices we make, by individuals, and how these completely unlikely alliances, these found families, can actually come together and change fate itself. It's a powerful idea that goes way beyond just fantasy, doesn't it? It speaks to the human condition, our ability to influence our path.
This deep dive, it feels a bit like the constellation itself. It sort of lingers with this brilliant, multifaceted glow, quietly revealing hidden strengths in unexpected places, and just the profound impact of choosing compassion over chaos. So the deep dive into the Dragon Constellation reminds us, I think, that true power isn't just about magic or abilities. It's also about understanding your own story and the choices that shape it, which leads to our reflective question for you today. What old stories about yourself might be ready for a rewrite in your own life? Is there an unalterable narrative, maybe, that's just waiting for a compassionate reinterpretation? Something to ponder. And hey, if you are an independent or debut author out there crafting bold, thoughtful stories, we would absolutely love to hear from you for our Indie Ink Spotlight series. Seriously, we built this segment specifically to amplify voices like yours, to bring these incredible worlds to busy minds like ours. Submitting is really easy. Just shoot us an email. The subject line should be Community Exchange. And the address is WHTTR podcast@gmail.com. That's WHTTR-podcast@gmail.com. We genuinely can't wait to read what you've created.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. Until next time,